Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're stepping into that hidden world behind our eyes when we sleep, the world of
Yeah,
dreams.
it's a fascinating area.
Yeah,
We're looking at them through the lens of the Intersistence Dream Channeling series.
exactly. Exploring the idea that maybe, just maybe, these nightly stories aren't totally random, that they could hold some real significance for our well-being.
Right. The series suggests it's less sleep talk and more, well, soul talk,
Hmm.
a deeper form of communication.
Soul talk, I like that. So the idea is that dreams might offer these, profound insights into our inner lives, insights we miss when we're awake.
That's the core premise, that dreams somehow bypass our everyday rational thinking
Okay.
and connect us with maybe emotional truths, energetic states, even spiritual realities that we're not consciously tuned into.
So, our deep dive today is really about exploring what your dreams might be trying to tell you about your, let's call it, internal wellness.
Because if they bypass that logical filter, as
Yeah.
the sources suggest,
Then they could be showing us something raw and honest, unfiltered.
exactly. Connecting with realities our conscious mind often smooths over or, frankly, just doesn't notice day to day.
Okay, so let's get into that dreams as internal truth tellers. How does that work?
Well, the inner resistance thinking goes like this. While we're awake, we're pretty good at managing appearances, even to ourselves. We might ignore feelings or unmet needs.
Yeah, push things down, keep busy.
Right. But dreams, they don't really have that filter. They can become this stage where buried truths surface, almost like an internal wellness report.
An internal wellness report. That's a great analogy. So, things we overlook during the day might just pop up while we're sleeping.
That seems to be the idea. While we're dealing with emails and traffic and everything else, our deeper self is still processing, still feeling things.
Hmm.
And dreams are maybe one way that processing comes to light.
The series gives some good examples, doesn't it? Like dreaming about drowning.
Yeah, that's a common one they mention. Often linked to feeling completely overwhelmed in waking life. Like you're struggling to keep your head above water, literally.
Or being in a car that's, totally out of control.
hmm That feeling of chaos, maybe life feeling like it's speeding along without you having any say or any breaks.
So these aren't just weird movies our brain makes. They could actually be reflecting something very real about how we feel inside.
Precisely. The idea is our subconscious holds on to all this information. Unprocessed emotions, subtle energy shifts, things we barely register consciously. Dreams could be the way this stuff surfaces.
Let's talk specifics then. Symbols. Because dreams are full of them, right? The intersistence material mentions a few common ones, like teeth falling out.
Ah, yes, the teeth thing. That often points towards feelings of powerlessness, maybe vulnerability, like losing your bite, your ability to assert yourself.
Or feeling like you're being chased. That's another classic.
Right. And that often suggests there's an issue, maybe a conflict or a difficult emotion in your waking life that you're actively trying to avoid confronting, running away from it, literally, in the dream.
Okay, but you also mentioned something key earlier. It's not just the symbol, it's the feeling in the dream.
Absolutely crucial. Take flying, for instance. For one person, it's pure joy, freedom, maybe overcoming limitations. That's what the intersistence material suggests it can mean.
But for someone else,
For someone else, flying could be terrifying. A complete loss of control, a fear of falling. Same symbol, totally different personal meaning based on the feeling.
so no simple dream dictionary then, it's personal.
Deeply personal. The general interpretations are just starting points, possibilities. The feeling is your primary guide.
Okay. The material also mentioned losing control of a vehicle, like we touched on with the car feeling life's moving too fast, maybe, or without direction.
Yes, that sense of being swept along, not being in the driver's seat of your own life. Or water, that's another big one.
Water seems huge in dreams.
It often reflects our emotional state. Calm, clear water might mirror inner peace, emotional balance.
Where stormy, rough seas.
Could indicate emotional turmoil, unrest, anxieties bubbling up. Water is such a primal symbol, it often carries a lot of emotional weight in dreams.
What about when dreams repeat? The same scenario or the same feeling night after night.
Ah, recurring dreams. The Intersistence series frames this as the subconscious turning up the volume.
Like it's really trying to get your attention.
Exactly. It's a strong sign that there's something unresolved, some persistent issue or pattern in your waking life that needs looking at. Your deeper self is saying, hey, look at this. This matters,
So ignoring it is like hitting snooze on an important alarm clock.
pretty much. It suggests the issue isn't going away on its own and requires conscious attention.
Which leads to the idea that dreams aren't just reflecting things, they might actually be helping us course correct, like a tool.
Yes, the sources suggest they act as both a mirror showing us our current state, maybe the unvarnished truth of it.
And also a compass, pointing a way forward.
Potentially, yes,
Hmm.
indicating where we might be off course in our lives, perhaps hinting at a next step or a needed change, even if it's just an internal shift in attitude.
And this ties back into the broader intersistence framework, right?
Mhm.
Connecting the mind and spirit pillars.
Exactly. Dream work, in this view, becomes a practice that links mental understanding, analyzing the dream, with that deeper, perhaps more spiritual or intuitive guidance, tapping into inner wisdom.
Okay, but what happens if we just don't listen?
Yeah.
If we dismiss dreams as just weird brain static?
Well, the potential downsides highlighted in the series are quite significant, actually.
Like what?
Feeling stuck, for one,
Hmm.
repeating the same unhelpful patterns, increased agitation or anxiety, a sense of being disconnected from yourself, from your own feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Even things like emotional tension building up, maybe leading to decision fatigue because you're not aligned internally. Some sources even suggest potential links to physical symptoms arising from that unresolved stress.
Wow. So it's not just trivial. Ignoring them could actually hinder our well-being.
That's the perspective offered. It frames listening to your dreams as an act of self-respect, and acknowledging this whole other dimension of your experience. Ignoring it is like ignoring a part of yourself.
Okay, so if we want to start listening, how do we do it? The series proposed a kind of dream ritual, right?
Yes, a practical approach. It starts before you even fall asleep. Setting an intention,
An intention, like what?
like consciously asking yourself a question before bed. Maybe something like, what insight do I need right now? Or show me what I'm not seeing about this situation. Or even, where am I not being totally honest with myself?
So you're kind of priming the pump, directing your subconscious.
Sort of, signaling your openness, your willingness to receive guidance or clarity from your dream state.
Step 2.
Keep something to record your dreams right by your bed. A notebook, your phone's voice memo app, whatever works.
And the key is to grab it immediately on waking.
Immediately. Don't even get out of bed if you can help it. Jot down anything you remember. Images, feelings, characters, snippets of dialogue. Even if it feels fragmented or makes no sense.
Because it fades so fast, right?
Incredibly fast.
Hmm.
Those fragments might be really important later, even if they seem random at first.
Okay, got the fragments, then what?
Then, maybe once a week, take some time for reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Read through your dream notes from the past few days. Patterns. Recurring emotions are a big one. Are you often feeling scared? Or joyful? Or lost? Also, recurring characters, symbols, settings, themes. You start to see connections.
Ah, so the patterns emerge over time, linking those seemingly random fragments.
Exactly. That's often where the deeper understanding starts to bubble up, connecting the dream world themes to your waking life themes.
And then the intersistence approach suggests actually using these insights, right? Matching them with wellness practices.
Yes, making it actionable. So, for example, if your dreams are consistently full of fear or instability,
Maybe you consciously practice grounding exercises during the day, walking barefoot, deep breathing, that sort of thing.
precisely. Or if dreams suggest a feeling of disconnection, maybe you focus on practices like mindfulness or breath work to reconnect with yourself.
So you're building a bridge, using the dream's message to inform your choices when you're awake.
It creates this really valuable feedback loop. Your inner world informs your outer actions, supporting overall balance.
And the final part of the ritual was about sleep itself.
Treating sleep as sacred. Winding down properly before bed, creating a restful, dark, quiet environment.
Which helps you sleep better, obviously, but also...
Also potentially helps you have more vivid, memorable dreams. Good sleep hygiene supports dream recall. It honors the whole process.
So, really, wrapping this up, the message from the intersistence perspective is pretty clear. Our dreams are talking to us, constantly.
In their own unique language, yes. A language of symbols, feelings, metaphors.
And learning to understand even a little bit of that language, paying attention to it, can be genuinely transformative.
It's about honoring that inner voice, making space for truths that get lost in the everyday hustle, allowing for healing.
Sleep with purpose, wake with clarity, something like that.
That captures it nicely, integrating that dream wisdom into your whole wellness journey.
Absolutely. And look, if this deep dive into dreams has got you thinking and you want to explore more topics like this from the intersistence
And
viewpoint,
you should definitely check out their website.
Yeah, head over to interzistance.com. That's interzistance.com. Lots more interesting insights and material there.
And of course, if you found this conversation helpful,
Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And follow us over on social media, too.
we really appreciate you joining us for the deep dive.
We do. Thanks for listening.